Oh, 7 o'clock? Oh, yeah, you know I'm about to tune in. They got the hottest music. Raw review. Everything raw. Yeah. Raw review. Everything raw. Everything raw. Raw review. Yeah. Everything raw. It's raw review. Raw review. I'm everything raw. Everything raw. Raw review. Everything's raw. Yeah. Raw review. Everything's raw. Raw review. Everything's raw. Yeah. Everything's raw. Everything's every Saturday at 7 p.m. It started in Detroit, now the world know them. Raw Review live stream podcast. Get your music heard quicker than the email blast. Send it if it's raw. Get an interview and all. They got a number you can call to promote what's going on. Music and movies and entertainment. They do pop-ups and giveaways on the daily. Platform for any local business. Black owned and we independent. We the best live podcast stream. You know the team is brought to you by Promo King. Raw review. Everything raw. Raw review. Everything's raw. Raw review. Everything's raw. Raw review. Everything's raw. Everything's raw. Everything's raw. Yeah, Raw Review. Detroit hottest podcast station, man. Saturdays at 7 p.m. Hit that call line. 313-473-7114. Boom.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? This is Raw Review, sponsored by Promo Kings. I'm your host, Dead Fresh. Y'all gonna be rocking out with me today. My Leaves is on tour, and Lady Billionaire couldn't be here, so y'all got me. We got a host today by the name of Solo. He's an artist, fitness trainer, actor, so he got many umbrellas. He's gonna be on the show today. Looking forward to interviewing him. And in hip hop news, I want to send my condolences out to Young Dolph family, particularly his wife and his kids, and of course his siblings and all of that. Sad to hear about the brother getting killed the way he did, just going to get some cookies and ice cream in his neighborhood. So it's fucked up. You can't even steal part being your neighborhood you grew up from with a little bit of money. And it's just sad. And we losing too many of our brothers. Seem like the rap game is the most dangerous job you can have at this point. So again, prayers out to Young Dolph Peoples. Also in hip hop news, we're gonna be having a versus with Bone Thugs and Harmony and 3 6 Mafia. Me personally, I got Bone Thugs and Harmony. Growing up, I was a big Bone Thugs and Harmony fan, and pretty much I wasn't really rocking with 3 6 Mafia like that back then. So I'm definitely going for Bone Thugs and Harmony on that one, for sure. Oh, also in hip hop news, we got Kanye West and Drake is actually uniting to do a tour to free Larry Hoover. So I think that's pretty noble by them guys, for sure. Definitely shout out to them for that. They got they been I think Larry Hoover have did if I'm not mistaken, he's did like 50 years in prison. And the whole time he's been in like ATX. So he they cut off all his his contact with the public. So I really hope they get that brother free for sure, for sure. Yeah, they say he's been locked up. He's actually sentenced to 200 years. Actually, how the fuck you gonna do 200 years? Also, this is the 1 year anniversary of the Gucci Mane and Jeezy versus. If you seen that versus, that was pretty crazy and disrespectful. I had Jeezy going in at the beginning of the verses, and but I gotta give it to Gucci Mane at the end of the day, just on mere brutality. To be 100 with you. Also, on other hip hop news, we got Offset from the Migos welcomes home his brother after doing 15 years in prison. So I know he was elated to see his brother come home. That's what's up. Hopefully he stay out. But let's talk about the acquittal of Kyle Rittenhouse on all 5 charges. What type of shit is that? You mean to tell me you can say a month before you gonna shoot somebody, and then a month after that actually shoot somebody, multiple unarmed people, and then the judge don't allow the prosecutor to call the victims. He only let them address them as looters and rioters. So it just shows that this country is still racist as it ever was, except it's just no black and white water fountains anymore. It's crazy, but the Twitter world been saying since they acquitted him, they should set Tay-K free. I don't agree with that. If Tay-K did what he did, that Tay-K need to be where he at. But I just think it's fucked up that they just keep showing us that no matter what goes on, the coin is never gonna flip on our side. So that's crazy. And I'm seeing, I done seen pictures of him like standing behind a judge, smiling, laughing, and all this type of shit. It's crazy, because you know if that would have been a black man, he'd have been on death row already. Let's just call a spade a spade. But it might be some good, some good news in the finding of Dolph killers. They say the killers may have been shot, fleeing the scene. So we'll see how that go. And we figure bring in today's guest, Solo. John Anthony, aka Solo.
Peace, King. How you doing?
What's up, brother? What's up, brother?
How you doing?
What's up, G? You all right?
Right here.
Come on in. Yeah.
How you doing?
I'm good, brother. How you?
Good, man.
Okay. Huh?
I can drink.
Oh, you do what you want to do. Yeah, you definitely do what you want to do. Tell our audience a little bit about yourself.
Man, when you say a little,
Or a lot of bit, a little bit.
I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna keep it brief. My name is John Anthony. I'm from Hamtramck, Michigan.
Okay.
Moved to Monroe, Michigan when I was about 13. So I was raised halfway in Michigan, Hamtramck, and then I moved to Monroe, Michigan. Music is my primary passion, always has been. It's my first love.
Okay.
Over the last 2 years, I started venturing out, trying other things. I went to Florida and started operating with a bunch of entrepreneurs, man, and they opened my mind up on a whole new level, you know? So I started acting, started modeling. I started a clothing line called Raid Rough Around the Edges. You can find that, you can Google that, look that up, that's all online.
Okay.
It's an athletic apparel line.
Oh, that's what I was
Yep,
finna ask.
yep. It's an athletic. I'm
Okay.
I'm gonna be moving into casual soon, but right
Right.
now it's an athletic apparel line because that's really where I'm heavy at. You know, I'm
Okay.
a personal trainer as well, um, barber. I do a lot. I do a lot. I do whatever feels good to me, and I love to express myself in different ways. So, man, I wouldn't even narrow myself down to say that that's all because I'm only 30. You know
Right.
what I mean? So
Okay.
I don't know where God gonna take me, but that's a little bit about what I do.
You sure you ain't a little bit of Jamaican or something?
Right, Shama.
Right. G's got about 12 jobs, man. That's what's up.
Yeah,
That's what's
man.
up, though.
Yeah.
So what type of music do you do?
R&B, hip hop.
So you rapping and singing?
Yep, yep.
Okay.
I try to sing. Singing is something new, you know. Um,
You
it's
can't just try to sing though, motherfucker. You gotta know.
no, I'm not no Chris
Yeah.
Brown, but
Okay. Right.
I try to. I could carry a note, you know.
Okay.
I could hit a tune. It's fairly new. Rapping, hip hop has always been my thing.
Yeah.
But I feel like when you're a musician, there you would never limit yourself
Right.
to
No
one
limits.
form
Yeah.
of music, you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
because I mean that's just closed-minded. So
Yeah. For sure. Hence
yeah,
how Lil Wayne came out with a rock album.
yeah, and man,
Yeah.
I respect that man so much
Yeah. For
because
sure.
that man evolved with the times.
Yeah.
He evolved with the times, and
Yeah.
that's true art,
For sure.
you know.
For sure. Yeah, we was just having a debate at the barbershop the other day. Do you consider Lil Wayne a rock star?
I mean, I think honestly, I think rock star is a lifestyle. It's not a genre. I think being a rock star is a lifestyle. I'm a rock star. You look like a rock star.
Right,
You know,
right.
rock star is it's an edgy lifestyle. It's like grungy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm out here grinding in whatever area you in, whether
Yeah,
it be
yeah,
music
yeah,
or I feel like rock star is I'm a rock star. I
right.
like to think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So how long you been doing music?
man. So I was about 11. 11.
Since you
I've been
about
writing
11.
music since I was 11.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
my older brothers, they started and they fell off, but you know they inspired me and influenced me, and I just fell in love with it. You know,
Cool. All right, so two-part question. What were some of your influences as a kid as opposed to your influences today? Like who was you watching back then at 11 to make you want to
oh man,
tap into music and
Lil
shit?
Wayne. I mean, you know, I'm a '90s baby. I was
All right.
born in '91, so I was right there in that era. You know, my uncles, my brothers, all my people older. You know, so my uncles, my brothers, my mother's boyfriend at the time, my cousins, everybody. You know, '90s is right when things started really to transition. So
For
I
sure.
still came up on Pac. I still came up on Snoop. I still came up on Nas. I still came up on all them. You know what I mean? Like as a whole, I never really had one favorite artist or any one type of person that I looked at. I'm a very, as you could tell by the way I work, I'm not just a one type of guy. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
I like to. I get my motivation and inspiration from many different avenues and aspects.
Right.
So,
Okay.
but honestly, my biggest influence wasn't even other musicians though. My biggest influence was my environment.
Okay.
It was my environment, man.
I can dig that.
My I came up hearing all type of different music. You know what I mean? I'm Hamtramck. That's a very diverse. All my
Yeah, for
friends was
sure.
either Mexican, Arabic, or black. So, and Puerto Rican. So I came up
So
listening
that's an
to
eclectic bunch.
yeah, man. I
For
came up
sure.
listening to all type of reggaeton. You know, I came up listening to the jazz. You know what I mean? My stepdad listened to jazz. So
Right.
it was more so my environment, the people I was around.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, I can't really tell what nationality are you.
So that I know of, black and Italian. But
Okay.
my mother says that there's some Puerto Rican. My father, I don't know my father. Never got to meet the man, and he
Okay.
just passed about 4 years ago. So I know he was cut with a lot of different things. You know, I was actually thinking about doing that Ancestry.com.
Okay.
Oddly, it's funny you ask because now I'm
Yeah.
getting to the point where you know that matters to me, my roots, and
Right.
not just the black side, not just Italian. You know, I wanna know my whole background and kind of connect and tap into that. You know, because ultimately that's how I can operate at a more fuller level,
Right.
optimal
Okay.
level. So yeah, man, primarily black. My father was 50% black. and mixed with whatever else. And my mother's Italian, 100% Italian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. So you got like a traditional Italian mom, huh?
Yes, very much so, man. Cook all day, every day. You
Now
know,
let
slave.
me ask you this. This is a debate right here. When your mom makes spaghetti, do she like mix her sauce with the spaghetti or do she put it on the top?
No, it go right on the top, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
real Italiano shit.
that
Okay.
mixing, yeah, that mixing is a westernized thing. Which I don't know why she put it on the top, but I would imagine, you know, and it's never a lot. You know, I used to be like, Mom, come on, you being stingy with the sauce.
Right.
She just put a little
Right.
slap in the middle. But you know, I don't know. I never asked her why. But my mother, man, when she cooks, she methodical and strategic, and she just that Italian mother that cooks for the whole, just like on my black side, you know. Italians and Puerto Ricans and blacks, they a lot alike as far as nourishment and
Okay.
cooking.
Yeah.
You know, the
Put a
Italians
lot
and
of soul
they
in
want to and they
their
want to
food.
feed
Yeah.
the people in their
Yeah, for
family.
sure, for
So
sure.
yeah, I came up eating good, man.
For sure, I definitely could tell. So how did you get into the fitness thing? How long you been in the fucking with the fitness?
I've been working out for about 13 years, and it all started in jail. I started catching cases at a young age, man, 16, 17, and I'm, you know, I'm light skinned. I'm a little guy. I was a little guy
Right.
definitely back then, and so you know, I started working out to aid, you know, be able to better defend myself and to gain some type of mental discipline. I never committed to any one thing. And when I started working out, it's funny, when I started working out, I felt like, man, this is something I can commit to. And I've been doing it faithfully ever since.
Okay.
Every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how did you make the transition from you just said you stated you had a troubled childhood. So how did
Mm-hmm.
you make that
Prison.
180
Prison.
prison?
Prison. I learned that I did 3 years in prison.
Okay.
And I've been home for it. I learned that prison either make you better or worse. There's no gray area.
Yeah.
And by the grace of God, man, it clicked for me. I got
Right.
a lot of friends, it still ain't clicked. You
Right.
know,
For sure. Me too.
I'm sure you, yeah.
Me too.
So man, like
It clicked
prison,
for me as a juvenile though, cause
that's
I started
good. I wish
catching
it.
cases at like 13. So
Oh, you're young, young.
yeah. It
You
clicked for
jumped
me
up.
as a juvenile
Yeah,
for sure. So
yeah.
I definitely can relate.
Mm-hmm. So
And
yeah,
actually, all my friends that I grew up with is either dead or in jail or just getting out.
it's sad, typical story, man. It's
Except
sad.
for I just got one friend and he weird.
Yeah, he came back weird.
No, I'm saying he weird. That's why he ain't.
Oh, he ain't been in no trouble.
Right, yeah,
Right,
you know
right.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
He weird, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Busting the grape.
Besides that, you know what I'm saying?
That's
Everybody
dope.
else,
Hey, shout out to you, man. Because I
yeah.
wish I was a little more weird growing up.
For sure,
That
Ain't
would
nothing
have
wrong
saved.
with that. He
Hey,
was
and while
never.
I'm shouting out, big shout out to Duke Marino, man. Daniel, man. That's my baby, man. Plugging me in since we met. We've been locked in and it's love. So big shout out to you,
Yeah,
King.
big shout out. Yeah, that's my brother, actually.
Is it?
Yeah, yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
my
sir.
dog, man.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what's
man.
up.
I wouldn't trade him for the world for sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
he's a
He
good
worth his
man.
weight in gold for sure.
He's a good man.
Yeah. So, what's your what you got on the horizon as far as a project?
With you guys?
No,
With
I'm
y'all,
talking about
period.
your music, music project.
So my music, I'll be dropping. So the gift and the curse, it's perks and cons. It's pros and cons to having multiple hustles. Right now, I'm in a season where I feel in my spirit, I'm putting music on the back burner.
Okay.
Music ain't never going nowhere. My talent is not going nowhere, you know, and I'm only growing as a person every day. But I dedicated, like I said, close to 15, 16 years writing music, you know? So about a year and a half ago is when I really toned it down and I stopped going to shows. I stopped doing all of that nightlife.
Right. Okay.
And I really want to focus on, I just started my business a year ago, my athletic apparel line. Right now it's an online store and I would like to build up more revenue and generate more income to open a storefront. So that's my main priority right now. My personal training. I will have some online training as well soon through my Rough Around the Edges, my rate page. Um, so right now, primarily, ain't nothing really shaking. I got about 14 complete songs ready to to go out, and I'm just kind of waiting on a prompting in my spirit. You know, I'm sick of making, you know, good music, good material, and putting it out prematurely, and I don't reap what I'm
Right,
supposed to
yeah, for
reap
sure.
because I didn't wait for the appointed time. So right now I'm just kind of waiting on when I feel it in my spirit, we're gonna get it cracking and activated. And Duke is actually, man, he's gonna connect me and plug me into a place where I can record good quality music. Man, I'm dope, man. I'm dope. You know, and
Mhm.
that's what I always lacked out here was resources.
And the support team,
Yeah,
for sure,
yep,
for
yeah,
sure,
that
for sure.
support, man. Because out here, you know, it's hectic. It's critical out here.
Right.
Detroit, Michigan, period, is critical. And if you're not ain't nobody gonna let you eat with them.
You kind of got the wrong mind state, to be honest with you,
Really.
because everybody blowing off of their own work.
Well, yeah, I'm not trying
It's
to.
because the thing is, we in an age where you ain't got to wait on no label no
Right.
more.
Yeah. True.
You can just hit an upload button
True.
and instantly tap into the world.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got look at the guy designer the Panda song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The one hit.
Yeah.
One hit, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
could change your life
It
forever.
go both ways though. So
You know what I'm
what I
saying?
what I said was, you know, I'm not saying it's not easy to make something happen.
Right.
I'm just saying the mind state of the people here is closed. I've been to Florida. I lived in Pennsylvania. I lived in Florida. I've
Close
been in
far
West
far
Virginia.
as
As far as
the
like,
music you bring
so
to the
in
table, you
Florida,
think?
when you walk into somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
even Atlanta, it was like that. A lot of love. When you walk into somewhere, you know, let's just say down south. I lived there for a year and a half. The love and the embracing, you know, out here niggas be like this, like, hold on, nigga, I'm gonna watch you,
For
I'm a,
sure, for sure,
which
for
is
sure.
understandable,
Right.
but at the same time, that negates a lot of potential progress on both of our ends. Cause ain't no telling what
True.
I could do for you, and ain't no telling what you could do for me. But people out here are so guarded
Yeah.
before, whereas opposed to down south in Florida, it's like, man, come on, man, it's love. Man, let me introduce you to dog. Let me introduce you to dog.
But
Let me
see,
do.
you got to look at it. You got to look at what the average person go through down here.
I understand that. I
You know
understand
what I'm
that.
saying?
I don't. I'm not mad about it.
This is a real play for keeps
Hmm.
city.
It is. It is, and that's why I packed up and I feel
Real
like I
play for
deserve
keeps
that to
city.
myself to go out there
Right.
and try. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna tell you, man. Every time, like how we sitting here right now, every time I met with somebody, even if that wasn't the plug, the way God was directing pieces. If say you wasn't the plug, like
I know the plug.
yeah,
Or know
and
somebody that
you
know the
gonna be
plug.
like, man, I
Yeah.
want you to. It's hard for people to put you up on a people out here
Yeah.
because you know everybody ain't ready to vouch. Everybody ain't ready to, and I understand that because when I went to Florida, everybody like, yo, you got to cut that out. You got to get up out that mindset. You're not in Detroit no more. You're not moving like that. You know, open up. You know,
Yeah,
open
yeah.
up and trust motherfuckers. Fuck with us, and that's
No, I
exactly
wouldn't
what
say
I had to
that.
learn.
I would say give them a chance, but
Yeah,
that
yeah,
trust though,
yeah. Well, at
you
the
got
end
to
of the
earn
day,
that. You know what I'm saying? With
I, I, feel
me
that.
personally speaking, you got to earn the trust. Now,
No
I give
doubt.
you a shot.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
I'm gonna start you off with a clean slate.
yeah. Yeah, benefit of the doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like when I was my math teacher used to say when I was a
Uh-huh.
kid that when you for your first day of class you start off with an A.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you to keep
Keep
the A.
that A. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
I feel that.
that's how I'm set up. You
I
know what I'm
feel
saying?
that.
I give you the shot and I give you the clean slate.
Yeah.
But the trust,
Yeah.
because I know mine.
Mm-hmm.
I know once you got me as a
See,
friend, you
also, I
gotta
could say this. What you just said to me, I could say you in a bad mind. You in the wrong mind state for that.
you think so?
It's now. Don't get me wrong.
Maybe I need
Sometimes
some
it'll
growing to
save
do.
your ass, but sometimes you could miss
All the
out on
time it
certain
saved my
things.
ass
Or
though.
a lot of
Trust
time.
me, trust me.
But if you honestly look at it from a if you look at it from a subjective standpoint, like just how you said, yo, you can't think like that. You know, everybody not like that. But at the same time, you know,
But see, here's the thing though. Everybody not like that,
it's a
right?
catch-22. It's a
Here's the
catch-22.
thing, right? I can run into 10 good-hearted
Right.
motherfuckers,
Yeah.
but it only take that one
One.
fucked up hearted
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker to take you off the earth.
That's true. That's
You
true.
hear me?
That's true. That's
So I
facts.
got to treat everybody with the same uniform
Mm.
until I can figure out who's who.
That's true.
So
And,
I
and we
keep my
got
grass cut low so I can see the snakes.
and we got that prerogative. We got that prerogative. Florida, honestly, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I've been moving. I've been moving very discreet. You know, the joint. You know, being light skinned, being born here. You know, and getting into it with all my fights. I'm gonna tell you, all my fights here in Detroit was with dark skins and Arabics, because it was a race war. So check this out. Hear me out. When I moved to Monroe,
Okay.
Michigan, it was primarily white folk.
Right.
All my fights was with white people. So the way I came up, and contrary to popular belief, people think light skinned people got it good. That's not always the case, because we get flack from
When you
every
say
angle.
people, who you talking about though?
Most people,
'Cause
and
I
most
don't
of our
have this
brothers
light
too.
skin.
Most of
I
our
don't
brothers
have a
too.
light-
Come
listen,
on, you know.
I got a brother lighter than you.
But you know, I'm not saying you. You know, most of our black brothers automatically think, oh, light skinned niggas, they got it good when them niggas this, that, and the
No,
third.
I
And
wouldn't
that's
say
true.
that. I just the consensus is y'all soft.
But that's one of the
But
things
I
that
don't
people
think
think.
y'all got it good.
That's
though.
one of the things that.
'Cause
Well,
the
see,
police
most people.
pull me and you over.
We
gonna
both
get
going
the
that way.
same
Right,
ass
we
whooping.
both going that way. I might get 1 month shy.
You
Would
know what
you?
I'm saying?
But
You
no,
gonna
see,
get the
that's
same
how
ass
that's how
whooping
that's
as me,
how
Jack.
that's how I think.
Right.
But I'm gonna tell you, being light skinned, I'm telling you how it was for me and my brother. It's
Maybe
5
because
of us.
I'm right down the middle. I ain't black as hell. I ain't
Right.
light as hell.
But it's 5
So,
of us. So I not only seen it with
5 of
me,
us
I
too,
seen it
yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
You know, my brothers. So my whole life I've been fighting for mine. My whole life, and then especially in the joint. So that right there, automatically, when I came home, I was like, man, fuck everybody. You know, that's where I was at, because I didn't trust nobody.
Right.
Going to Florida, man. Now I did get screwed over a couple times. It come with the territory. But I will say this: the way I've been operating, and not so closed off and guarded, but more open and humble. You know what I mean? And easier to talk to. A lot more happened for me out there. A lot happened for me when I broke that mindset. Now, like you said though, you gotta, you know, kind of treat everybody with the same uniform until you got a better understanding or a better feel for who they
For
is.
sure.
So, I mean, it go both ways. It's one of them things. It's a catch-22, and you just gotta be discerning.
Yeah.
For real.
I guess old habits that hard.
They
man.
do. They do, man.
So
They
yeah,
do.
I ain't trying to get
I'm
nobody.
a personal. I'm a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll spark up. People like, dog, ain't you a trainer? I'm like, yeah, you know, but I still smoke. I still like to get in my zone sometimes.
Right.
But like you said, old habits hard to die. I find myself smoking more out of familiarity, not to get high. I
Me
smoke
too.
because it's
Yeah,
familiar.
I don't even get high no more.
Yeah,
anyway, so
it's just like, man, I'm
Yeah.
just doing it because
it's routine.
it's tradition, ritualistic.
Yeah, it's routine for sure, for sure. So, how did you? What made you say I'm gonna do the personal trainer thing instead of just working out for yourself?
Well, I love to teach. I love to teach, man. And one thing, God bless me with a mind. I absorb. Everything I read. I love to read. So I love to teach. And I came home from the joint, and all my dogs were still in the street. Everybody was still smoking. Everybody still drinking all the time. Everybody still, you know, doing this, doing that. I came home and I started working out, and then, you know, one of my homies, he like, man, I'm gonna start going
So
to
you
the
start
gym with you.
working out home and not in jail?
Yeah, I've been working out since I was like 12. So my stepdad was a Marine.
Okay.
When we got in trouble, which was all the time, when we got in trouble, he either put hands on us or he made us work out, and he made us do military exercises. So I've been working out since that nigga came into my life.
Shout out to Step Pop.
Yeah, man, because I hated him for it, and as I became an adult and I was in prison, I couldn't help but appreciate it.
The discipline.
Because it was easy for me to move and navigate. It was easy for me to stay out of BS. It was easy for me to take care of myself when need be, and it was easy to tap into that, you know.
Right.
And I started training. You know, I was with my brothers, my homies, and before I know it, I got 3-4 people coming to the gym with me. And obviously, I ain't start thinking about taxing them, but I'm like, yo, man, this could be a thing. But in Michigan, I was still so closed-minded. I wasn't thinking about 8 incomes. I'm thinking about music, and I'm going to work at this factory until this music pop up.
Right.
Fuck that. Going to Florida taught me how. Man, listen, I would never work for another man a day in my life. I've done everything. I was a garbage man. I laid asphalt. I did concrete. I did home demolition repair. I did roofing. I painted. My brother owned a landscape company, so we did landscaping. I worked at McDonald's, Wendy's, Popeyes, chicken. I done it all. And going to Florida, them people taught me how to operate out of my own bag. I went to Florida thinking the bag was in Florida. I went to Florida and learned that I'm the bag. And all it took was for me to get around people who operating like that. So when I was in Florida, that's what opened me up to all to the possibilities. And I remember I quit my job here in Michigan, sold my truck, me and my ex-wife divorced, and I packed my shit and just left. I didn't know nobody out there. I didn't have nothing. I actually had a vision in prison that I was gonna go to Florida. I used to dream about it and I used to fantasize. That's what got me through prison. I would just act like I'm on a beach walking with a bunch of baddies. And so I knew that was something that I could do.
Right.
So I sold my truck. Me and my ex-wife divorced. Got rid of the place that I was at and packed my shit and went. And when I left, it's funny. I told my boss, I said, I ain't never gonna work for you again. He said, "What you about to do?" I said, "I quit. I'm moving to Florida and I'm about to blow the fuck up." He was like, "You'll be back in 6 months." So that right there
put
some fire under my ass. So when I came back to Michigan, he saw me in the store and he like, "What's up? You ready to work? I see you. I see you back." Like he thinking I failed or something. Right. I said, "Oh, I ain't come back because I failed. I came back because I learned." No, I moved back. I said, "I came back because I learned something. And now I'm about to teach my people this shit. I'm about to put my brothers on. Now both of my brothers starting a clothing line. Right. You know what I mean? This is what we here to do." And when I went to Florida, they put me up under their wing. "Hey man, the way you thinking, that ain't it. Check this out. What you good at?" That's what motherfuckers used to say. That's how we used to build in Florida. "What you good at? What can you do? If you had anything in the world and you had to sell it to me, what would it be?" So they started challenging me in ways nobody here challenged me. Right. Maybe I was in the wrong place. Maybe I ain't had the right people around me. But, I lived in Michigan my whole life, and I never had that type of that mental stimulation. So, I never work for another man again, man. I'm in the bag heavy. If I'm not getting paid from this, I'm getting paid for this. Only thing I haven't really got paid for is my music, which really bothers me because this is the thing I really excel in.
Number one thing.
This is my shit, right. But ain't nobody see that yet. Right. So I said, let me do something motherfuckers gonna see.
So in the music world, do you go by your
John Anthony?
So what's the solo?
So my whole life I went by solo. Man, I don't like to get too deep, but life is deep. So I went by solo my whole life, right? That's what everybody called me because I was always alone. When I was in prison, I was just meditating, I was chilling, and God revealed something to me. He said, "The reason you always been alone," I spent 6 years altogether in a cell. He said, "The reason you always been alone and by yourself is because you identify as solo. When people call you solo, it resonates with you. That's why you always alone." You know what I mean? I embody that guy. I like that. When everybody like, "He ain't never with nobody." I like that. Right. But who the fuck want to be alone all the time?
For sure.
So when God revealed that to me, he said, "This is your name. John Anthony Buckley is my name." Buckley was my father's last name. He said, "This is your name, John Anthony, not solo, and then I'm 30. You know what I mean? Right. That shit ain't cute no more. Aliases. When I meet somebody in a business conference, I'm not about to shake their hand and say I'm solo. My name's John Anthony. So that's where that came from. I got rid of that solo. My brothers, everybody still call me that back home, and I'm like, "Listen, man, that ain't me. That's not me no more." So.
And you say you cut hair. How did you get to the cutting hair thing?
Prison.
I was just
I started cutting my own hair.
Comb and a razor.
Comb and a razor, dog. Okay. I was using a comb and a razor and a beard trimmer.
Definitely in tune, for sure.
Yeah, man. But I started cutting my own hair when I was like 15, because I never had money for a barber. So I would watch my big brother, and he would cut his hair and shit. Fuck his shit all the way up all the time. But he was cold with the line, right. But he pushed his shit all the way back all the time. And I started watching him, and And you know, I picked up the clippers and I started practicing on myself, but I didn't start cutting other people's hair to the joint because I ain't had no bread in there. My ex-wife had left me when I was in there, so I ain't had no bread. So I'm like, shit, let me pick these bitches up. But you know, I was scared though.
Right.
I'm hesitant because if I fuck with these niggas' heads up, you know, they take, even though we ain't going nowhere, niggas taking that serious in there.
But niggas getting their shit ready for the visit
Yeah,
and all that.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
For the female CO.
For sure, all that. You know what I'm saying? You know, CO coming through, peck watching and all that. You want to be
just for 5 seconds. I don't know, but it works.
Yeah.
But that's when I started cutting other people. I mean, I cut my brother's hair before prison, but I started cutting everybody's hair in prison and then after prison. I came home, I was a dog. I got some real clippers. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, because I know some guys that are cut better with a fucking razor.
Yeah.
And a comb,
a taper,
then what a motherfucker can do with a whole line of clippers.
With a see, I could do a taper. One time I tried to fade on this dude, man, in the joint. That took like 4 hours, man. The razors that they had gave us, we had these, obviously they maximum security razors. Somebody had just popped the blade out and had got somebody together. So they gave us even these smaller, more maximum security where the blade is barely exposed. So I'm using this razor and this comb, and I'm going up on dog shit. A taper, I'm a dog, but this fade, though, this was the first and last time I did a fade with a comb and a razor. But you know, they got clippers and beard trimmers in there too. Yeah. So that's where I started getting it in at, man. I was even braiding hair. I braid my own hair. I braid my daughter's hair. I was braiding hair in the joint. Only my homies though. I wasn't braiding everybody. But yeah, man, I'm a hustler, man. I'm a hustler, man. And if I'm not eating, my thing used to be, because me and my brothers, we used to box. So my thing used to be, I'm gonna take somebody's shit. You know, if you eating and I'm not, I'm gonna take it, and we gonna figure it out. You know, and just going to prison, it just all that time by myself really taught me a lot about myself and what I'm capable of. Mm-hmm. So man, I came home, and my own family finally starting to realize and recognize, like, yo, you gifted, you talented. But it took a purgative state, you know what I mean? It took for me to be up in there to really figure out who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you did some soul searching in there.
Yeah, man, for real. I utilized that time to the best of my ability. I wasn't wasting no time. But the first like 9 months, I was in there partying, drinking, you know, mad at the world, you know what I mean, fighting. But I almost lost my parole. I had a parole, and I did end up losing my parole. I was supposed to do 2 years. I ended up doing almost 3. And they flopped me. But
well, good thing they didn't give you the big flop though.
Yeah, the 18.
Yeah.
The 24.
24, yeah.
18, 24.
Because I had an uncle that had a 1 to 10. He did 15 years.
Yeah, man, that's a bad motherfucker because, so what it is the reason I got flopped, I was surrounded by lifers. I'm in level 2. So, you know, you still with lifers in there because they can work their way down from 5 to 2. But they can't go into 2.
Yeah, because usually the lifers mellow on out and sit there.
Yeah, they're never going out. But if they chill out, they get down to level 2.
They start knocking them levels.
I got into it with a motherfucker who was never going home. I had 53 days left. And this motherfucker was looking at my pictures, pictures of my wife in her bathing suit. Man, I got that man together. But he wasn't going home. He wasn't getting no letters. He wasn't. But regardless of the fact of the matter, you know, I got him together. And then even when everybody told the police, like, yo, man, this man violated. This man was in this man's shit. You know, they still flopped me. And I'm like, you got me in here with this man who ain't never going home. He ain't got nothing to
So he didn't keep a G, huh?
He ain't got, no, he did. No, he got his ass whooped and sat there quietly in there.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Told, huh? Pussy.
Yeah.
So what's your next plan? I know you got another one besides.
But like I said, man.
Endeavor, rather.
Yeah, well, like I said, man, I'm just I got another idea for a clothing line, so I'm gonna give this one another year, and that's what I would love to do. I would love to open up a storefront. It'll be half of a gym and half of a clothing store because I don't like these gyms, the big gyms. I don't like being around everybody. I like to do my own thing. I don't like working out in front of a lot of people. So
why is that?
So sometimes it's a distraction, and it's for a couple different reasons. Sometimes I get a lot of people that come up to me and they want to ask questions, but my biggest thing is the women. I find myself when I'm in the gym and I'm supposed to be focused up and tapping in. Sometimes I'm really good about focusing, but sometimes I find myself looking over here, worried about if she, just
God damn
and
that ass fat.
you know what I
Right.
mean? Or I'm like, damn, shorty looking at me. I'm just not focusing on what I'm doing, and I don't like that because you. It's very important to connect with your body when you exercise. That's where you get your best results from. So last like 4 years since I came home from prison, man, I just really didn't like working out. Or maybe it was a little bit of trauma from prison. You know what I mean? Being around shit happening when you in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is exactly. That's probably honestly, I never thought about that. That could be it. When motherfuckers slamming the weights in the gym and doing all that loud, tough shit. It kind of bring me back. So maybe I don't know. So maybe that's part of the reason why I'm a little uncomfortable in there. A big part of the reason is the women. I get to wander and my eyes get to wandering, or just people just be coming up to me interrupting my. You look like my barber, man, Riley D. Dog Cole, he cut rappers hair and everything. You look like Riley D. Shout out Riley D, man.
Okay. You said you dibbled and dabbled in some acting too. How did you get into that?
So I was out in Florida and I ran into this guy in Walmart. He was a director. Well, he was a script writer slash director. And he walked up to me. He's like, "What do you do for a living?" And I was like, "I'm a rapper."
You said you was where now, my
I
bad.
was in Walmart in
Okay.
Florida.
Okay.
I was in Tampa, Florida. And this guy walked up to me. He like, "What do you do for a living?" And I used to tell people I'm a rapper. You'll never hear me say that again. I feel like that really takes away from a man, especially a black man, when you say I'm a rapper. You know, mm, that ain't really a good look. Unless you're getting them M's and that's all you do, then it's
Right.
this a little different. But me, I don't like to because that people automatically will write that off. So I'm an entrepreneur. But at the time I was still in that mindset. So I said, I'm a rapper. He said, "You're a rapper?" He said, "You don't model? You don't do nothing?" I said, "No, man. Just music." He was like, "You ever thought about acting?" And I was like, "No, I never thought about modeling, acting. Where we from, you know, you don't really. We think about basketball, sports. We think about
Yeah.
rapping. Coming up in the
Right. Right.
music, and we don't really. It's few and far between get into that out here.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So I'm like, man, I ain't never thought about. No, I ain't never thought about acting. He's like, "Can you do it?" I was like, "Maybe. Probably." So he gave me his card, and he like, "Well, come up here. We doing these acting classes, and we're gonna be looking for actors in this next upcoming role." So, long story short, I ended up landing a role. Shout out to Ashley LaHoy Media. I ended up landing this role. It was called Complex, a series. It was a Netflix role. It ended
Okay.
up getting dropped though, because one of the artists gave a song that wasn't fully his. He didn't own the beat. So when Netflix caught wind of it, they automatically dropped it
Mm.
because that's infringement, and they could get sued because their name was on it. So we filmed for about 11 months, man, during COVID. We going through
Mm.
all the motions that we got to go through. Everybody got their mask on when they not on set, man. We put a lot of energy and effort into this. And that was one of my biggest roles I landed, but I landed 3 roles out there. One of them was a little sci-fi joint that I started filming, and COVID was just slowing everything down. But I learned a lot about myself. I did some commercials, I did some acting, I did some modeling, and did a lot of shit. I did some Disney commercials, a Mountain Dew commercial, and a Christmas commercial. So I'm signed through Level Talent Agency as a talent agent, a modeling, acting talent agency. But I learned though, I look good on camera, and I'm a good actor. But I don't like that. I don't like that. Standing on set for 8 hours just to film for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? You filming 2 little scenes and you on set 8, 12 hours. I'm not passionate about that.
Right.
I'm passionate about expressing myself, but so I learned a lot, and not only that, working amongst them guys, it opened me up in a way that being around my peers in the music industry couldn't do that. It gave me a dynamic that a lot of people don't have. You know what I mean? So Now when I'm shooting a music video or something, I'm a studied actor. You know what I mean? So and a music video is acting.
Right.
So it just really added to my dynamic. It added to the color of my character, and I did that. It was fun. I met some dope people. I met Robert Riker. I met some celebrities, Tony Jaa, Maurice Crump,
Okay.
um, uh, Robert Riker. That dude, he played in Coach Carter. It's the light skinned dude with the green eyes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I trained him for a couple months. I was his personal trainer while he was getting ready to do Chocolate City 2. He had to get back in shape. Shout out to Robert. So it opened up a lot of doors. I was able to meet people, connect, and network on a level that you can't get with music. You know, so it was a dope dynamic. So that's how that started.
That's what's up. That's what's
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
So what's your 5-year plan? Where you see yourself in 5 years?
Richer than a bitch. Man, uh I don't have anything set or where I see myself because the human mind oftentimes will limit ourselves on an unconscious level. So I don't even want to do that. But I see myself in a position that's 100 times better than where I am, and I see myself in a place in a position to that I can finally help my people in a way that none of us have been able to help each other. So, I don't see myself in no mansion. I don't want none of that. I definitely want a house with an estate and some land for all my people. But, I see myself as successful as John Anthony, in everything that is encumbered in that acting, modeling, the clothing line, music. I see everything just successful.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where can we find your clothes at?
You can go to www.ratebyjohnanthony.com. On Instagram, you can find me at Rate by John Anthony. On Facebook, you can find me at Rate by John Anthony. Right now, a lot of these, when I came back to Michigan and I opened
You
the
say
store back
that's
up,
an acronym, right? How did you come up with
Rate,
that name?
Rate. You want the whole story or you just want me
What's the whole
to?
story?
Okay. So there's this guy named Rory Lawrence. Shout out to Rory, man, out in Florida, man. He's a director, scriptwriter, very well connected. He's a B-list celebrity. Rory Lawrence, he took me out to dinner one day, and this is one of the guys who assisted and connected me in the acting field. And one day we eating and he talking to me, and that's the guy that said to me, he said, if you could see yourself selling anything in this world, I almost said drugs, because that's what I know. That's what I know, how to sell drugs. So I never sold anything other than drugs, So I'm like, shit, drugs, I don't know. But I started thinking, and I'm like, I don't know. And he was like, well, describe you. Just describe you. So he's drawing this up out of me. He's challenging my mental. So I'm talking about myself and I'm telling him what I've been through and shit. I tell him I keep it funky with everybody. You know what I mean? Especially when I'm doing business with somebody and I want it to be an intimate business relationship. I tell him straight up, like, yo, I've been to the joint. I did this before. I did that before. And I just like to put it all out there. That way, when it come out, ain't nobody acting funny,
Right.
So I'm telling him everything I've been through, and finally at the end, he said, like, so what best describes you as a person? I'm like, shit, I look perfect, and I look like I got it figured out, but I said, shit, I'm still a little rough around the edges, and that's when it hit me. Now, me and him just building, but I logged that in my memory.
Right.
I'm always
Yeah.
doing creative shit up here. So boom, I logged that in the memory bank. I'm like, damn, rough around the edge. I automatically find the acronym too. Damn, rough around the edges. RATE. Rate. That sound dope. So that's how that happened. And I went home and I started taking notes. I started doing little sketches. In Florida, man, I was alone a lot of times. I didn't have friends. I had people I worked with, peers and associates, but I didn't have no friends, no family out there.
Right.
So I was by myself a lot. So I started doodling and sketching. I called my ex-wife. She's a dope-ass artist. I said, yo, draw me something up that kind of looked like this and just put a little stank on it. And my ex-wife helped me build the logo. Pretty much, she came up with the
The rough draft.
No, I had the rough draft. She came up with I had the A upside down and everything. She came up with so at first it was really rugged. It was rough around the edges for real. But you can't mimic that in an embroidery.
Mm.
So I had to change it. So initially she came up with this rugged, jagged rock foundation looking thing, and it looked like Rake was chipped out of a fucking mountain. And I was like, oh, that's fucking dope. That's rugged as hell.
Right.
Because my brand is it's rugged apparel. Wait till you see some of this casual stuff I'm about to roll out with, man. Denim sets and everything. I got patches and I got all type of stuff I'm gonna slap on that thing. But so that's how it came about, man. And I had I think I made like 3,600 doing this little acting gig out there.
Mm-hmm.
They gave me 3,600 up front, told me go shopping. I spent all that money on the business to get the business up and going. You know what I mean? To legitimize everything. And that's how that started, man. And it just started taking off. It truly last year was 2020 and going into 2021, best years of my life financially and collectively as regarding everything. It was a really good couple years, man. So that's how that started.
All right. Anything you want to leave our audience with closing out?
Man, listen, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Y'all fuck with me the long way, not the wrong way. And we're going to win because a lot of people sleep. You know, they sleep on great people. And I learned to not take it personal, you know. It just make me tap in more. So follow me on my journey, man. My name is John Anthony. My personal Instagram account is what is it? I just went on a social media fast. I just came back, so let me see what my handle is. But follow me on the gram, y'all. Follow me on Facebook. John Anthony _11. Just John Anthony _11. JUSTJOHNANTHONY _11. Follow me, y'all, and fuck with me, and let's build and let's come together and make a community because we can all grow together, and that's what I'm on. So my fitness apparel page is up right now, and I'll have online training coming real soon. The music is about to get popping, especially connecting with these cats. You know, the promo kings. Shout out Duke Marino again. You know, just vibe with me and let's rock. And it's gonna be a good show.
And you can find me on Instagram at dead_fresh with a Z 313. And you were tuned into Raw Review. You can also catch a rewind of this episode on rawreviewradio.com. If you would like to support the show, the Cash App is $Raw Review. I'm your host, Dead Fresh. Catch me the same time next week at 7. Peace.
Peace and love, y'all.
Okay. Oh, it's 7 o'clock? Oh, yeah, you know I'm about to tune in. They got the hottest music. Everything raw, yeah. Raw review. Everything raw. Everything raw. Raw review. Yeah. Everything raw. It's raw review. Raw review. I'm everything raw. Everything raw. Raw review. Everything's raw. Yeah. Raw review. Everything's raw. Raw review. Everything's raw. Yeah. Everything's raw. Everything's raw. Everything's raw. Everything's raw. Every Saturday at 7 p.m. It started in Detroit, now the world know them. Raw Review live stream podcast. Get your music heard quicker than the email blast. Send it if it's raw. Get an interview and all. They got a number you can call to promote what's going on. Music and movies and entertainment. They do pop-ups and giveaways on the daily. Platform for any local business. Anybody black owned and we independent. We the best live podcast stream. You know the team is brought to you by Promo King. Raw review. Everything raw. Raw review. Everything's raw. Raw review. Everything's raw. Raw review. Yeah, Raw Review, Detroit hottest podcast station, man. Saturdays at 7 p.m. Hit that call line, 313-473-7114. Boom.